I wonder if you may be willing to guide us through just a little mini exercise to give our listeners maybe a little bit of a taste of this work.
Be happy to, sure. Yeah, we I'll invite people, and again, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. But if you're interested, I'll invite you to get to know one of these protectors a little bit. It could be one of the driven parts we've been talking about. Could be one of those critics. Most everybody has a critic. Uh, you know, as we've been talking, you may have been thinking about your own protectors. So I'm going to invite you to pick one that you just want to get to know better and maybe help start the process of convincing it doesn't have to dominate. So I'll give people a second to pick one. And as I said, if you can't think of one, then everybody's got a critic, so you can start there. And then once you have part in mind, then focus on your experience of it, whatever that is. Could be a voice or a thought pattern or an impulse, emotion, and then find that in your body or around your body. Because these parts kind of broadcast from certain places, which you can locate if you're curious. And then as you notice that part, you ask this kind of odd question. How do you feel toward it? In other words, you have a relationship with this part. As I said earlier, you might depend on it. Fear of losing the edge if you don't have it. But you might also hate it because you see how what it's doing to your life, or fear it, or or depend on it. So just notice how you feel toward this protective part of you. And then, if possible, ask any parts that have an attitude toward it or afraid of it, or even the parts that depend on it, to give you the space in there to just get to know it. Just to open your mind and get a bit curious about it, and just see if they're willing to do that for a second. Not real long. If they are willing, you'll notice a palpable shift in your energy in your body towards fairly pure curiosity and maybe even compassion part, which is when we know that you have the critical mass of self relative to it. And if that's not happening, it's just because some of these other parts are afraid to let you do this. So you could just spend the time asking about their fears. But if you do get at least curious, the target part, then go ahead and ask what it wants you to know about what it's trying to do for you, why it's working so hard. And don't think of the answer, just wait and see what comes from that place in your body. And then the follow up question to that is, what's it afraid would happen if it didn't do this job inside of you? If it answered that one, then you learned about what it's trying to protect. And if that's true, And go ahead and let it know you appreciate that it's trying to protect you, even if it's misguided or it's not working. Let it know you see that its intention is to try and help you and keep you safe, and see how it reacts to your appreciation. Ask it if you could heal or change what it protects so this job wasn't so needed, what might it like to do instead inside of you? I'll repeat that. If you could heal or change what it's been protecting, is there something it would like to do if it was freed up? Then do ask it that how old does it think you are question. Again, don't think of the answer, just see what number comes. If it got your age wrong, then update it. Let it know how old you are, how you can handle more than you could back. See how it reacts. Then the final question for this protector, what is it, what kind of relationship does it want to have with you now, now that you know it better and differently? Yeah, how would it like you to relate to it? All that feels complete, then thank the part for whatever it let you know, and thank the parts that gave you the space to get curious, right? And then begin to shift your focus back outside.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dick. That was a wonderful exercise.